Here we are with my old friend, colleague and Hall of Famer Steve Flink in a day that the Italian tennis will never forget.
They'll never forget it, Ubaldo. You finally have a champion at Wimbledon, the biggest tournament of them all. And what a turnaround for Sinner, who squandered 3 match points against Alcaraz in the French Open in the final in the 4th-set and lost in 5, to now avenge that loss by beating him in the biggest match that they have ever played against each other.
Yeah, 4 sets, and honestly, when Sinner lost the first set, I was really worried because I had the impression that Alcaraz was sometimes behind in the score, but he was making the best points, and at the end he was changing the trend.
He was, but what's interesting about it is Sinner, as you say, I mean, Sinner had 4-2. He looked like he was in good shape. He had the break. Carlos had wasted a 40-15 lead on his serve. Sinner breaks, goes up 4-2, loses 4 games in a row. Those 2 times he lost his serve at 4-3 and 4-5 were the only times in the entire match that he got broken.
Yes, but I would say that those 4 games were the best played by Carlitos Alcaraz.
And the worst played by Sinner. I think it was a combination, don't you?
Yeah. And then, immediately in starting the second set, again Sinner broke the serve to Alcaraz, and then he was able to hold his serve quite easily. No?
Well, after a while he was. In the early stages of the second, through most of the second, he had to work a little bit. He wasn't getting many free points. He was holding. He didn't get broken. But it got better and better. In the 3rd and 4th sets was his best serving of all.
Yeah, actually, you're right, because in the second game of the second set, he had to save break points.
Yeah, that was danger, and he was annoyed with himself, and he was actually yelling at himself a little bit. I thought that was a good sign. I think he was almost saying, look, you had the lead in the first set, don't blow the lead now, keep going, and he did just that.
Yeah, and then in the 3rd set, he lost only 7 points on his serve, and he never gave a break point to Alcaraz.
Exactly. No, he was dominant in the 3rd. He got the 1 break at the end at 4-all and served it out, and then in the 4th,
at the beginning, already in the 3rd game.
Yeah, right. He got the early break, but then at 4-3, there was a little bit of a tension moment for him, 15-40 down. That may have been the crucial game of the match because Carlos was desperate to break back and get this to a 5th set, and Sinner fended him off from 15-40 in the 8th game of the 4th set. To me, that was critical.
Yeah, he served, he made a winning serve on the first break point, and then another rally, and he made the point.
Yeah, Carlos missed a forehand long, but it was a, and then the next point after that, Sinner hit a great kind of leaping backhand.
Yeah.
Got a little extra juice on it and forced the error. That was a clutch moment for him, and he met that moment beautifully.
Yes, and then I met a lot of people now just coming out of the stadium saying, Ubaldo, now you can retire. Because I've been here 51 years.
Yes, of course you can.
Since 74. I am not going to retire, I tell you, because I want to see Sinner winning again.
I know you do. I know you do. What's interesting about it, Ubaldo, is at the French Open, until then, he'd never lost a Grand Slam final. Carlos got him there. Carlos had never lost one until here. He'd won all 5, and now Sinner has beaten him here and stopped the streak of Alcaraz, who'd won the last 2 Wimbledons over Djokovic in both finals.
Yeah, and then there were 5 wins in a row for Alcaraz,
absolutely.
Which wasn't fair in a way.
No, it wasn't fair because 4 of the 5 matches, Ubaldo, Sinner won the first set. One match in China last year, he was serving at 3-love in the tiebreak in the 3rd, never won another point. He was 2 sets to 1 up at the French Open in the semifinals last year also, and didn't close him out. And then, of course, this last one was the heartbreaker in the French Open final. So,
and before that, there was the U.S. Open, the quarters of final with a match point.
That's true, but that wasn't part of the 5-match streak. That was earlier. But you're right. It was a 5-setter quarterfinals at night, and in a spectacular match. And Carlos beat him on his way to his first major title.
Anyway, so, the Pietrangeli had won 2 slams, but always in Paris. All the other Italians who won a slam were in Roland Garros. I'm talking about Francesca Schiavone and also Adriano Panatta, but only Flavia Pennetta won the U.S. Open versus Roberta Vinci in 2015.
Yeah, she should give. I hope she gave Roberta Vinci a big cake or a lot of money or something because Vinci beating Serena, that was the only way Panetta wins the title.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That was a nice thing for her. But it was
Yeah.
also nice for you to see an all-Italian women's final. Ubaldo, one thing about today, Sinner's, the way he served those last 3 sets, I thought that was the key to the match. He was great off the ground, and but he just gave Alcaraz so few opportunities. I think Carlos got a bit discouraged by the way Sinner was. He started to fool him with the direction of the serve more than he did early. He was getting many more free points.
Yeah.
Those last, especially the last 2 sets.
While in the first set, he lost twice the serve.
Yeah, right.
When he was up 4-2, and when it was down 5-4, he put on only one first serve.
And had a double fault
yeah.
in there too. So no,
Yeah.
that was a shaky game. And I think he was, frankly, it may have been the best thing that happened to him.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
think about all those other matches where he won the first set
Yeah.
and was unable to win the match. But somehow this made him buckle down, made him fight hard. And then to get that break immediately, Carlos played a little bit of a loose game, first game, second set. That was also a critical game.
Anyway, it was 55% of first serve in the first set, and then he went up to 65.
Yeah.
So which means that he improved much more in the serve. I think that's it. We can only say that this rivalry will go on for who knows how long. They both are born in the year 2000. I mean, after the year 2000.
I think we can also say, Ubaldo, that I think there's a pretty good chance we see them meet again in the U.S. Open.